if you're an official police officer.
I'm not. I didn't say I was an official.
Right,
I put my videos on YouTube when I
Right,
go to a police station and find faults with the police station or faults with the members of staff. I put it on YouTube. Today I'm at Basildon Police Station, and all I see is an influx of police cars parked on double yellow lines. Look, SR07, protecting and serving Essex, not very well on double yellow lines. SR04, parked on double yellow lines. Another one here, parked on double yellow lines. Seen better days. Got a knife bin out the front. Here's the back gate.
Welcome again. The scene begins outside Basildon Police Station, where an observation quickly draws attention to something many cautious drivers frequently wonder about. The auditor points the camera toward police vehicles positioned along double yellow lines, road markings that generally forbid stopping or parking unless a genuine emergency is taking place. This immediately brings up an important question. Are officers allowed more freedom with these restrictions simply because they are part of law enforcement? Even before walking toward the building entrance, the auditor quietly documents the vehicles, filming what seems to be a relaxed attitude toward the same traffic rules that typically apply to everyone else.
Riot van. Closed circuit television. CCTV is in operation for the purposes of crime prevention and public safety. We've got a vehicle coming out. Let's have a look at the other vehicles here. Protecting and serving Essex. There's a lot of police cars parked out the front. Authorised permit holders only. Police no entry only. What have we got down there? Anything exciting? Keep clear. Sliding gates can cause serious injury or death. Warning, this car park is for police personnel only. Anyone that parks here who is not authorised will be clamped. Superintendent Shepherd, Divisional Commander. Well, there's a guy in reception at the moment, so I don't want to go in there and invade his private.
As he walks along the perimeter of the property, several posted notices come into view. The auditor intentionally keeps to publicly accessible space, making it clear he understands where the boundaries are while calmly observing the signs. The principle he follows is straightforward. Areas open to the public remain accessible unless a lawful restriction is clearly in place. He directs his attention toward sections labeled authorized personnel only, yet he makes no attempt to cross into those areas. By staying within the permitted space, he respects the limits that have been set. This moment also draws attention to an interesting contrast. While members of the public face clearly defined restrictions, the parking situation observed earlier raises a fair question about how consistently the location's own rules are being respected.
But let me tell you about the car park over here where I had to park. My roof box hit the barriers on the way in, only just sort of brushed underneath it. But fuck me, when it was tight getting in the roof. You know, the roof against the ceiling. Oh my god, I went so slowly, but luckily I made it. So let's check out the number plates of the cars while I'm waiting for this guy to... Yeah, that one's alright. That one's alright. It's an ambulance station just up further. This is the sort of car that won't be alright. Okay. Let's have a better look at that Audi. That band's alright. So looking at that number plate.
As he pauses nearby, his focus shifts toward the privately owned cars parked within the staff section. His interest goes beyond casual observation. What he is doing is checking whether those tasked with enforcing the rules are also adhering to them. The underlying principle here is fairness and equal application of the law. If a vehicle connected to an officer fails to comply with legal standards, it can raise concerns about public confidence. With that in mind, he carefully looks for minor issues, the same kinds of infractions that everyday motorists might be penalized for, and he is moments away from noticing something that stands out.
A little bit. There is no BS number visible on the number plate. It tells you where it was made. So for a new car like that, registration 17 plate should have a BS number on it. Is the guy still in there? No, I think I can. Oh, or is he? Yeah, he's still there. Okay, guys, I'll pick it up in a minute. Yeah, just a quick one really. I was at the headquarters today over in Chelmsford, and one of the police cars there, one of the staff cars there parked in the car park had an illegal number plate. And I wanted to report it there, and they told me to come to one of the local police stations to do so. I'd already been to Chelmsford police station, so I've come here.
Okay.
So who do I report that to?
Going to front office.
This car here has also got an illegal number plate.
Has it?
Yeah.
How's it illegal?
If you look at any other car, BS number, it's got a BS number. By law, it's got to have a BS number and the maker's name on it. It's got the maker's name on it, but it's got no BS number. So it's not to British standards.
Okay. Alright, we'll go inside and have a word, although what I will say is...
A moment later, his attention is drawn to a number plate that appears to be missing the required British Standard **BS**** identification. Under UK regulations, that small detail matters because plates must include this marking to be considered compliant. The principle is straightforward. Vehicle components must meet the proper specification, regardless of intention. Instead of ignoring what he has seen, he decides to raise the issue, effectively shifting the focus of the situation. Watch carefully as the moment unfolds when an officer understands that the visitor is not simply being observed, but is actually highlighting a potential problem. The shift in attitude becomes noticeable almost immediately as a defensive response begins to surface.
I don't think people would appreciate you filming their number plates.
I don't appreciate them driving around with illegal number
Okay,
plates.
by all means go inside and speak to someone about
Yeah.
it. But I don't.
Because obviously
think
this is a
that's
staff's member of car. It is illegal.
illegal. Okay. I don't know whose car that is, but...
Well, this is
but
staff
at the
car
moment,
parking, isn't it?
Exactly. At the moment, you're now on private property. You're on
It's
police
publicly
premises.
accessible.
It's police premises.
It's publicly accessible.
Police premises, and you're filming number plates.
Yes, I am.
Right?
You're very observant.
Yes. And you must understand that in the current climate,
Yep.
under obviously terrorism activity and things like that,
Yep.
we need to be very aware and, as you say, observant of people filming police premises.
Right.
All right.
I had no issues at Chelmsford Police Station. I had no issues at the
Yeah.
police college. I had no
Well,
issues.
that's up to them at the end of the day. But I'm very
Yeah.
aware that you're currently filming on police premises people's names.
Yeah, I'm an auditor. That's what auditors do.
You're an auditor.
Yes.
Do you have any ID in relation to that?
Why would I need ID? What have I
I
done
don't
wrong?
know. Do you have any ID to say that you're an auditor?
What ID?
What are you an auditor of?
A police auditor. I go around
Police
auditing police stations.
Okay, so you must have some ID in relation to that. If you're an official police officer.
I'm not. I didn't say I was an official. Well,
Right,
I put my videos on YouTube when I
Right.
go to a police station and find faults with the police station or faults with the members of staff. I put it on YouTube,
Right.
as many of us do.
Okay.
There's things like that. We're not happy with members of staff who can drive around in vehicles breaking the law.
Okay.
It's not acceptable for a police officer or a police member of staff to do that. Wouldn't you agree?
The interaction soon takes a predictable turn. Rather than focusing on the concern that was raised, the officer shifts the discussion in another direction, mentioning the current security environment and terrorism-related worries as the reason for asking questions. In most situations, simply filming outside a police facility does not fall under terrorism legislation unless there is clear indication of hostile intent. The important legal principle is that reasonable suspicion must be based on specific and explainable facts. The officer attempts to use general security concerns as a broad reason to press for answers. Meanwhile, the auditor remains calm and points out that no clear legal grounds have been presented. This moment becomes a key turning point. When the officer asks for identification, the auditor replies in a way that changes the dynamic of the exchange. Instead of addressing the original issue, the officer now appears to be searching for a way to respond while the initial concern remains unresolved.
By all means, absolutely. All right. I don't see what's wrong with that number plate personally.
I've just told you.
Okay, and I'm telling you, I don't see what's wrong with it personally. That looks very legal to me.
And I've just shown you that every
By all
other number
means-
plate's
by
got a
all
BS
means-
number on
By
it.
all means, please go inside and speak to a member of staff at front counter who can maybe look up some legislation for you and has it to hand ready. Yeah?
Right. Okay. But you're not going to do anything about it.
I've just advised you. You asked me where you could report it, and I've advised you that you can go inside and report it.
And you've also told me that I'm not allowed to film. I'm on police property. How can I go in there?
I didn't say you weren't allowed to film on police property. I'm just advising you
Yep.
that if you continue to film on police property,
Which I'm going to.
you're going to get stopped.
Yep.
All right, and asked what you're doing.
Yeah, that's
because
fine.
of the current terrorism climate.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got no issues
So
with that at
We
all.
obviously have issues with people filming buildings, particularly police buildings, because they are a target for terrorists. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I've done about 70 of
appreciate
them
that.
now.
So you will be spoken to about what you're doing on police premises, specifically as well, filming number plates.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right, because as you can.
I understand the
appreciate,
Terrorism
you know,
Act,
if
and
I
I
was to
expect to
come
be
your
questioned, which is
property,
why
if I was to
you
come to
don't.
your-
This isn't your property, is it?
No, I'm just advising you. If I was to come to your property, stand on a public highway, and say, for example, you had a vehicle and film your number plate, you'd want to know why.
But you're perfectly lawfully allowed to do so.
No, but you'd want to know why I'm filming your number plate. Surely, I know I would if it was my car.
It's
I'd
not
want to
your
know
number
why.
plate, though, is it?
I'm advising you. I'm giving you a rhetoric.
The number plate belongs to the
rhetorical
DVLA.
situation.
Yeah, but the number
Rhetorical
plate belong.
situation.
All number
It would
plates
be-
belong to the
it would be-
DVLA.
It would be your vehicle, though, wouldn't it?
The officer keeps insisting on seeing identification and mentions that the individual is known as an auditor. That step turns into a notable misjudgment. In many everyday encounters, people are not obligated to show ID during a voluntary conversation. The essential rule is that officers must rely on a clear legal power before they can require someone to provide ID. In this situation, the officer appears to frame the auditor's presence as suspicious in an effort to obtain more details. However, he does not identify any specific authority that would legally compel the person to hand over that information. As the discussion continues, the request begins to resemble an attempt to gather details without a clearly established legal basis, rather than a requirement supported by law.
And you'd want to know why someone's filming your vehicle, really, wouldn't you?
Not really. It wouldn't worry me, and there's no danger in a camera.
Oh, okay. It would bother me. but
Okay,
I'm
that's
just
your
advising you.
choice.
All right. So if you go inside, have a word with someone inside, and
Yep.
you could report what you wanted to report at Chelmsford.
Yep.
All right. You've obviously travelled from Chelmsford to here. I don't really know why you didn't go to Chelmsford Police Station.
I'd already been to Chelmsford Police Station beforehand.
Right. But you
so-
were local to Chelmsford.
I was local to Chelmsford.
Right.
I had to come here anyway, so I.
Well, feel free to go inside and report what
Yeah.
you wanted to report.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Yeah, thank
I'll
you very
leave
much.
it there.
Can I take your badge number?
72311.
Excellent. And you're based here?
I'm not based here, no. But
Whereabouts are you
I
based?
don't need to tell you where I'm
You
based.
do. You need to give me
I
three
can
forms
give-
of
I can give you my collar
identification.
number. That's all I need to
No,
give you. I can give
according
you
to your
my collar number.
policy.
That's all I need to give you.
According to your
All
policy,
right?
if you go look on your
And what's your
policy,
name, sorry?
I didn't give out my name.
You don't give out your name.
What's your
okay,
name?
Well, you're filming you currently on these premises.
That's right.
So
I'll
I'd like to know what your name is. I'm not going to give you my name. I'm going to give you my collar number, which I've given.
Right, you're
All right,
supposed to
that's
give me
my-
three
that's my-
forms of
My
identification.
form of ID. I only need to give you my collar number because I'm perfectly identifiable via that collar number.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're
Yes.
not.
I'm the only person with
You,
this collar number.
by law,
Please.
by your code of standards, you've got to give me three forms of
And what are
identification.
those three forms of identification?
Either your name,
Yep.
the station you're located at,
Yep.
your collar number,
I only need to give you the station I'm located at if I'm stopping the counter
No,
or stop searching you, and I'm not doing that.
No, any interaction?
No, not at all.
Yes, it
Not
is.
at all.
I've already
Not
looked
at
into
all.
it.
Not at all.
So you're refusing me
I've
your
not
police
stopped
station
you.
that
I've
you're
not
based
stopped
at?
you. You've stopped me.
No,
You've asked me
I
if
was
you're
walking
okay.
along and you said to
And
me,
asked
"Can I
if
help
were
you?"
Okay, because you were
So
looking
we've
at
had an
me.
interaction. You spoke to me
Exactly.
first.
But I'm not asking to stop and search you. I'm not asking for a stop and a
At
count.
this stage, the dynamic of the encounter begins to shift. The auditor asks the officer to state his identity, pointing to the standard expectations of professional conduct. The central idea behind the request is mutual accountability. It seems the officer realizes there is no solid legal reason to detain the auditor. Rather than giving full identifying details, he refuses and starts to distance himself from the exchange. The moment illustrates a contrast many observers often point out. Officers frequently ask others for personal information, yet become cautious when a similar request is directed toward them. As the interaction continues, the officer ultimately walks away once the sense of authority behind the questioning disappears.
Why is it an issue that you're trying to hide
I'll
what
give you
police?
my collar number. That's all you need.
Why are you hiding what police
I
station?
don't need to, because that's all.
That's arrogant.
It's not arrogant.
It is.
That's all I need to give you.
It is. There's no need
Are
for
you
it.
going to give me your name?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm
Are you going to give me your name?
I don't need to. I'm going to go inside.
I don't
and
need
let
to
my
either,
colleagues
so
know
don't bother
that you're
asking.
here,
Yep.
All right. And just, if you would like some help, you know where they are.
Yeah, I'm just going in. There was somebody in there just now. Hiya. Just like to report a couple of incidents, if that's okay.
Okay, is that on?
Yes.
It shouldn't be.
Why is that? This is a
We have
public
policy-
building.
We have a policy about recording.
Right. Okay. Well, that's your policy, not.
Please turn it on.
No. This is your policy.
It is my policy.
Yeah. The government's got policies about vehicles being on the road on double yellow lines, and there's loads of them parked on double yellow lines.
You're not going to turn that off.
No.
Hang on a moment.
The auditor then walks into the inquiry area to proceed with making the report. Spaces like this inside a police station are generally intended for public access, even though staff at times treat personal preferences as if they were formal rules. The principle involved is the implied permission for the public to enter such areas that he goes inside with a clear and valid purpose, to report a problem with a vehicle. However, watch how the situation develops. The discussion quickly drifts away from the report he came to make. Instead, the camera itself becomes the center of attention, taking focus away from the original issue he intended to raise.
Yeah, you're calling me in with the camera. Yeah.
Sorry, what's your name, please? So we can have a conversation.
You can call me Isaac.
Isaac, okay, you can call me PC, right? Isaac, there is a notice that says there is no filming that is allowed by film.
Yep.
There are people in here that wish to report crimes.
I'm not getting them on camera. I've got a job to hear you through the.
Okay? You are not allowed to
Where's that?
okay?
Right, I just want to report a couple of incidences.
Alright? So you are not allowed
Yeah, that's a policy, that's not a law. I'm allowed to film in public. Under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972, I'm allowed to film in public.
in the public place you can, cannot film the conversation. So if you do not wish to
I'm not going to get them on camera. I've already stated that.
do not wish to film, do not wish their account, whatever they want to speak to police about, to be divulged to the general public, okay? Under data protection, they're allowed that right.
And if they ever speak, I will cut the video. And if they speak, I will cut the video. So there's no issues with that at all. I've put your mind at rest on that. Yes, I do, please, yeah.
Sorry?
Yes, I do, please, yeah.
This should be what?
I want to speak to somebody. Right, okay.
A staff member soon points to an internal policy while trying to stop the filming. This detail matters. Workplace policies are normally designed to regulate the conduct of employees, not members of the public. The public, on the other hand, is governed by the law rather than internal instructions. The essential principle is that internal procedures cannot override legal rights granted by statute. The auditor calmly maintains that he has the right to remain in the area, leading to a tense pause between both sides. Staff members appear to expect compliance based on their internal authority, while the auditor stands on what he believes are his legal rights, declining to be influenced by office rules or internal notices.
Oh, I'm going to pause it here. Smarmy police officers. Lord of Audits here. I've been waiting about 15-20 minutes for someone to come out and see me. I've got another police station I want to get to, so I haven't got the time to wait around. But I've just caught another police officer just coming out here. Hi mate. Yeah, I'm not really happy, to be honest. I've noticed there's a car down there that's got an illegal number plate parked in a private staff parking. So I've gone in to report it.
Yeah.
And also all the police cars are parked down here on double yellow lines.
Right, okay. With them, we will get them moved.
Yeah.
With the base directly outside, they should be for police cars only.
Yeah.
And obviously, if they're not police cars, they shouldn't be there. So we will follow lines of inquiry, obviously, to get them moved.
Yeah.
I'm just off to an emergency now.
Okay, no worries, mate.
So
Sorry,
I'll
yeah.
for that, but I will look at it when I come back, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Cheers. That shouldn't be allowed. Filming in public is allowed. Just because I got a sign up.
Soon after, another officer becomes involved and appears to understand the situation immediately. Without requesting identification or examining the footage, he acknowledges the parking issue that was reported. The difference in approach stands out, suggesting that the earlier friction may have stemmed more from personal reaction than from a genuine safety concern. The broader message is straightforward. Mentions of terrorism can sometimes be used to justify questioning that may not be necessary. Internal workplace rules do not take precedence over the law, and calm, confident conduct can quickly reveal who clearly understands their duties. This interaction becomes a clear example of how an ordinary exchange can expose weaknesses in training. Feel free to share your opinion below. Do you believe the first officer truly thought there was a security risk, or was the camera itself the main issue? Make sure to subscribe for more informative breakdowns. This content is provided for educational purposes only and should not be taken as legal advice. Always respect and follow the laws in your area. Take care.